Have you guys ever wondered, where did that jacket come from that the DR sports after every single one of their 14 home runs? ¿Cómo mantuviste esa mentalidad competitiva? Do you think that the crowd being so animated also plays into just the swag, the flow that you guys have on the field? He's a force to be reckoned with on the football field, but today we're getting to know UGA's Micah Morris, also known as Big Mike, off the field. ¿Qué pensaste cuando viste tu hijo meter el home run? If they win that game, they'll either face the USA or La República Dominicana, because he managed the 2023 team that lost in the quarterfinals to the United States. Okay, Nolan, so we're going to start with day one. In as much detail as possible, walk me through your first memory of you with a baseball. Between the undefeated defending champions Japan, I was asking people, who is their UGA athlete MVP? And so a lot of people said you, Blue Cane, for coming clutch in so many moments. So I was first going to ask you, who is your UGA athlete MVP? On the show, and now, oh my goodness, we've got Austin McGee finding a hole to the 20, to the 10, and a touchdown run, Austin McGee. I'm Popi Marquez with USA Today, and we're going to be popping into some locker rooms to test these players' knowledge on the state of Alabama. ¿Cómo te sentiste después de sink los dos three-pointers? A matchup that we don't see too often, Max Scherzer against Clayton Kershaw, and you'll notice after a player gets a hit, he'll turn towards the dugout, and he'll make a signal pretending to play the tambour. And another player I want to highlight is Blue Cane. Cane is the kind of player that you want on your team if you're a coach, because he does not take possessions off. We're here on the field after Venezuela just won its first World Baseball Classic championship ever. We're here with 4 different Austin Wellses. Give us a sense of what it feels like to be part of a lineup that has so much pop from top to bottom. How crucial is it to have that defensive momentum going into tonight? Tell me, Nolan, who's someone you want to give a shout out to?
My dad.
Cuando estabas pequeño en la ciudad de Panamá, ¿qué te inspiró a jugar pelota?
Do you know what your players are doing when they get a hit and they're kind of slicing something?
Poppy has been one of the best interns around. She is so dedicated. She asks great questions, absolutely amazing in her attention to detail. And I think she will continue to grow and be a great employee for whoever hires her, but I hope she comes back here.
Most teams will relax or take sips of water before the game starts, but Team Venezuela is having a celebration in the dugout, and it's one that everyone wants to be a part of and no one can take their eyes off of. So let's unpack this. Gathered in the dugout, they're in a circle and they're chanting, they're clapping, they're dancing to the beat of the Venezuelan tambour, an instrument that has flowed through their bodies since birth. So I got to talk to Venezuela's catcher Wilson Contreras about the meaning of this instrument, which originates from Afro-Venezuelan culture, and he told me that the Venezuelan tambour was played in the backyards of their pueblos growing up, and that this instrument they carry in their blood. And not only is this instrument present in the dugout, it's also present on the base paths. And you'll notice after a player gets a hit, he'll turn towards the dugout, and he'll make a signal pretending to play the tambour. And also, during the game in the stands, Venezuelan fans bring their own tambours from home that they'll beat during the game after Venezuela scores a run or gets a hit. Or they'll just play the tambour when nothing is happening, just because they love Venezuelan baseball, and this instrument serves as a representation of its culture. So, as we head into the quarterfinals between Venezuela and Japan, whether you're watching at home or at Lone Depot Park, keep an ear out for the rhythms and the beats of this drum as we go through the game, as it's something that is core to the Venezuelan culture. I'm Popi Marquez with RSINA, and we'll be back to you later. Have you guys ever wondered, where did that jacket come from that the DR sports after every single one of their 14 home runs? Well, it actually came from the equipment manager, Troy Timney. He said he was at the winter meetings in the offseason and he saw this jacket from a vendor and thought, maybe that could be a home run jacket. It didn't have any of the bling on it. It was just the jacket and the DR flag. So he bought it, he took it home, and then he started looking up all the players' nicknames so that he could get them patched on the back. And then pretty soon came Placata on the back. And now there's the World Baseball Classic logo on the sleeve. And it's become a huge symbol of the energy of this team. So I asked him, I said, Troy, did you ever imagine that this small idea, this jacket would become such a big thing for the team? And this is what he said.
Well, I had that hope that it would become as big as it's been. I was trying to think of something where I could have an impact on the team above just being the equipment manager for Team Dominican. Then when we rolled it out, I could really tell then that it was going to be something that was going to bring the team together, where we really celebrate big moments. Sitting here today, one game before the championship of the WBC, it's taken on a life of its own and certainly has had more of an impact than I ever imagined.
Well, there you have it, folks. I asked Troy what is next for the jacket after the tournament, and he said he doesn't know, but he'll keep me posted. So you guys stay tuned to see where this jacket's going next. We've got Venezuela in the championship game for the first time in history. And you truly don't know what the World Baseball Classic means to Venezuela until you see it, and you feel it, and you hear it in every single element of the game. But especially in the words of manager Omar Lopez. I just came from his press conference, so let's take a look at what he said.
Mi hermano, un poquitico nervioso porque es lo que siempre soñé. ¿Cómo podía yo hacer para poner mi granito de arena y darle felicidad al país? Más de 30 millones de personas que quieren ver a Venezuela triunfar. Y yo voy a buscar la manera de cómo hacerlo junto con mi gente. Pero hoy en día podemos sentirnos orgullosos de que como venezolanos lo que se visualizó hasta el día de hoy ha dado resultados. Es lo único que yo quiero. Yo no quiero que tú estés molesto, yo no quiero que tú me ofendas. No, al contrario, quiero que vivas la pasión y sonrías. Y lo voy a buscar lograr. Lo vamos a lograr juntos. Mañana lloraré con el favor de Dios, porque es uno más que nos falta.
Venezuela wasn't supposed to make it this far. In fact, when the roster was revealed for this WBC, a lot of people were not happy that Omar Lopez would manage this team because he managed the 2023 team that lost in the quarterfinals to the United States. And despite the fact Venezuela has the second most Latinos in the MLB after the DR, it is true what Omar Lopez has said, that Venezuela is underrated. And in one of his first press conferences, he said, "People underestimate us. Keep underestimating us because that fuels us. And boy, has it fueled them." We're going to have a great matchup tomorrow between the USA and Venezuela. Es otra cosa. It's going to be something else. This is Poppy with RS Skin, and we'll see you guys later.